Now, everybody, over the years, the Boeing 747 has had some very interesting conversions done to it. You know, we all know and love the very interesting looking Dreamlifter here. Probably one of the most ugliest airplanes that I've ever seen in my entire life, but it's very practical to transport around airplane parts. Very large cargo bay. And you guys remember this one right here, this weird project? I don't even know what that was for. But yeah, the 747 has proven to be a very versatile airplane. But I think one of the most interesting conversions is this one right here, the Shuttle carrier aircraft that we also have in the beautiful X-Plane Flight Simulator with the space shuttle on it. That's great. So let's finally talk a little bit about the 747 shuttle carrier by NASA. Now, this plane was built in the 1970s, and its sole purpose was basically transporting around the space shuttle. Kind of makes sense, right? The space shuttle cannot really fly on its own. It's not a plane, really. So to travel to different launching sites, pretty much like this one right here, this is Edwards Air Force Base here in California, it needed a little bit of a ride. So they just took a 747 and put a space shuttle on it. Quite literally. Right, this is what they did. They took an old American Airlines 747-100 in 1977 and they put the space shuttle on it. That's pretty, I mean, they've done some changes, of course. There are some modifications that they did indeed. Right, for example, they stripped out the entire cabin to save weight. They strengthened the fuselage a little bit to, you know, make the plane not fall apart in midair when it has a little space shuttle on it. That's great. But definitely the most major change that they did to the 747 was here in the tail, you know. They added these, like, vertical stabilizers, like, additional ones, just to improve stability mid-flight. Of course, you know, when you have, like, a little space shuttle on your plane, it's not really gonna improve your aerodynamic stability and stuff, right? And yeah, you know, center of gravity kind of stuff, you know. And of course, something else they did with the 747 was add these struts here on the fuselage so that they could fit the space shuttle on it. This is what one of those mounting points looked like in real life. Attached orbiter here. Really nice, actually. Now, fitting the space shuttle to the 747 was not that of an easy task, right? It is said that the, you know, researchers that worked on the project, like, took, like, up to 1 week to just put the space shuttle on the 747. As you can see, like, the attachment and detachment progress was quite long. But, you know, after all, they ended up with this 747 that had a space shuttle on it, and it can fly, obviously. Now, of course, we have a little bit of a decreased performance with a space shuttle on a 747. Like, of course, reduced range. This thing had, like, a range of a Cessna. The speed probably as well. Let's maybe just take off right here. At least, after all, it took off. And we have a long enough runway here at Edwards Air Force Base. Let's just go ahead and quickly take off right here. Nice. Okay, here we go. That's going well. And I mean, you know, I think this is a very good example of how capable the 747 really is. I mean, isn't this awesome? We've got a little space shuttle on our plane. Isn't that nice? Look, and we're flying just normally. Things are looking good. Now, something else that the 747 could do to this space shuttle is actually detach it mid-flight. We can even do this in the flight simulator. Now, for some reason, it won't let me right here. But basically, this was done to, you know, do some flight tests of the space shuttle, right? How does it fly in our atmosphere? It makes sense. I mean, this thing cannot really take off on its own. So that's really cool. But something I really wanted to test for a while now is, well, could you carry other planes with a 747 shuttle carrier? I mean, in theory, of course, right? I mean, in the flight simulator, we can easily do that right here. We can carry another aircraft, and we can just edit that space shuttle to another plane. Like, I don't know, so another 747. That would be weird, but it could work. Okay, oh my god. This is fine. Oh, you can see this is actually another conversion right here. This is the Virgin Orbit. Another 747 conversion, which is very interesting. We have a missile down. It's not a missile, it's a proper rocket. Yeah, the 747 is basically another carrier that just carries this rocket. So we can, you know, shoot in midair and save a lot of launching costs. Very efficient. So we're basically carrying a 747 that's carrying a rocket. 747, everybody. No, but really, let's do some calculations. How much did the space shuttle weigh? According to Wikipedia, the payload to Earth, which is like the empty weight that the 747 used to carry around, is 14 tons. It's not that much. I mean, the crappy regional jet, the CRJ-200, the small one, even that one, right? How much does that weigh? 24,000 kilograms. That's way too heavy, come on! Okay, but we can maybe try a private jet, the Challenger 300, that only weighs 10 tons. That could work. Now I'm trying to find a use case for our interesting carrier project. Like, you know, this is, for example, a plane that can fly on its own, so we don't really need the 747 to carry it. Also, something that's a little bit strange is how it's floating above our 747. It's not really making much sense. Not very smooth. But anyway, let's maybe try to take off right here. There we go. Full power. This should work. This should even work better than the normal space shuttle. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, that's been a tail strike. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't really want to strike this tail. That would have literally gotten rid of the whole horizontal stabilizer right there. But that's good. Here we go. This plane's now performing a lot better than with a space shuttle on. This is good. Now, it's not really useful, though, is it? Maybe to transport around broken airplanes, you know. But that one, yeah, this is just good. Anyway, let's maybe try some bigger planes. How about that? Okay, now we've got a bit of a misplacement right here. I wonder how that would affect the aerodynamic stability of the plane. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering here in the flight simulator, does putting a 737 on the literal tail of the 747 affect the aerodynamics? Like the whole simulation? Or is it just like visually? You know, we're kind of ending up like a Japan Airlines situation right here. All right, we've lost that vertical state. Anyway, here we go. Okay, plane's flying well. You know, the center of gravity seems fine. This is good simulation right here. Maybe try to go for something bigger. I don't... Yeah. Oh.
That's my boss.
This is interesting. And actually, you know what? I think the center of gravity is simulated here. See how the plane literally struck? I mean, it's not very realistic, probably. Like, of course, this is not a very realistic... It already looks wrong. But it kind of... They kind of have it. Here we go. Let's take off. I mean, it worked with the 737, so... All right. Oh. All right. Never mind. Come on, 747. I mean, something that you could do on the A380 is also put in some engine power. Doesn't really make sense when you have engine power. I mean, yeah, but that's good. Come on. Yes. There we go. We are in midair. Now, the A380 isn't really, but we are. Okay, the weight and balance is just miserable. This would never work. Sorry. Not that good. Yeah, you know, this is a very good video right here. Okay, we have a Antonov An-990 strapped to our 747. And it's behaving a little bit weirdly, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Oh. All right. You know, I think I've broken the flight simulator. Very realistic indeed. Jesus Christ, what's even going on? Yeah, let me just say the An-990 would be a little bit too heavy for the 747, maybe. Good one. Good project. I mean, really, though, we could fit some smaller airliners to the 7... Jesus Christ. Maybe some small private jets. But I'm really still struggling to find a reason to do that. It's a very stupid video. But that's, everybody, the story of the 747 space shuttle carrier. Now, if you want to see a space shuttle carrier in real life, you can do that. They're retired as of now. For example, there is one on display here at the Space Center at Houston. You know, of course, they're all retired these days, you know, as we don't really have a space shuttle anymore. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now, thank you to all my members here on YouTube, like Mike, Jacob, Tanner, Mubarak, Darren K, Oman the Human, Robbie, Tim, Matt, Sleepy Boy, Calvin, Kelly Chaos, Ryland, Moritz, Jackie Boy, New York, Shadow, Noah, and Death Rider.